Thanks for the support as a channel member, Jordan. Well, last time I did a transfer window in this save, everyone told me how rubbish it was. And Kev told you so. This time, I don't know what you said about yesterday's one. I'm recording this before it came out. I think it was a stunningly good transfer window. So we're probably going to lose both of these games. Hello and welcome to Club 2, part 32 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first two games of the new Premier League season. We're at home against Crystal Palace and away against Bournemouth. That's quite a nice start to the season we've been given there. If you missed the transfer special yesterday, I suggest you go back and watch it. Things happened and we have signed basically an entirely new team. Not that they're all going to play straight away, but unlike last summer where we were a little bit reserved, although I guess most of those are signings that happened this summer, actually. Last summer, we didn't spend very much money. This year, we've gone for it. We've spent about £100 million. It's time to make our mark in the Premier League. We don't want any of this second season syndrome nonsense. The only problem is we have affected team cohesion just a smidgen. So hopefully that's not going to count against us. I know I can anticipate some of you probably asking why we still haven't left Peterborough. There hasn't been another club in for me since. You know, I had the interview with Tottenham midway through last season. There's been no other offers. It looks like the Celtic job's available, but I'm not really interested in going to Celtic. So yeah, that's why we're still here. I'm happy at the club. We're constantly making progress. There's a new stadium on the way. They're backing me massively, so I wouldn't be looking for a job. I've got no interest in leaving. If someone comes and offers me something great, I'll take it. I'm not going to be applying for stuff. And Tottenham are the only team that have been in for me for the entire time we've been here. So as it is, we continue. And this is the team that we're putting out there for the first day of the new season against Palace. Quite a new look side, including new club captain Brandon Williams playing at right back, which is where he should have been playing all along. Obviously, we've got Lopez as well, and both of them can play both sides. So they'll both get game time on each side. Lopez is injured today, which is why it was a really easy decision to put Williams over the right back. But we're going with Jaros in goal. He does keep his place despite new signing Milos Vilar being lurking. He can start from the bench. A back four of Ekwa Alimbi. Parsons, who is our new English wonder kid, £25 million club record signing from Reading, who's never played in the Premier League. Partnered by another 18-year-old, Lukas Nowak, who is a current Polish international and another wonder kid. And then, as mentioned, Williams at right back. Brand new central midfield. Leighton Clarkson going to be partnering Liverpool loanee Danny Francis as the box-to-box midfielder. Then Biza, our previous record signing at $15 million, who never really proved himself last year, is going to be the attacking midfielder with the two new boys from Manchester United either side of him. Loanee Shortire on the left and full signing Pellistri on the right. And then Ricky J. Jones, last year's joint second top scorer in the Premier League, starting up front, which means a bench spot for Eddie Nketiah, the new number 9. All of that does mean there's no spot even on the bench for the returning Simon Patton, who is in very real danger of being the forgotten man, but things move on. He was great in the Championship, but so were a lot of players. We've got rid of Ross Sykes. You know, there's no room for Jack Taylor here either. We're progressing as a club. We haven't even recalled Gaz Key from his loan this year. We may as well put him down into the under-23s for the season because how do you do that from this screen? There you go. Move to the under-23 squad just to get him out of the way. This is the team. Before you go any further, Kev, you haven't done anything set-piece wise. Oh, well, we have no new set-piece takers, so there's probably going to be some interesting selections for taking set pieces today because I've not changed any of it. We should probably go in and change that before the game starts. Let's just jump into tactics and just make sure. Look at the state of that. So I'm literally just going to click quick pick for most of them and just change it if it looks like it needs changing. Like Odor shouldn't be the number 1 set piece taker at the club now. He was a superstar for us last year. He's very much going to be a fringe player for us this year. So we're just going to quick pick all of these for now just to make sure. Odor's not even in the team, but he is sat there on the bench. So if he came on, he'd suddenly be taking all the set pieces. And we probably don't want Brandon Williams taking throw-ins on the left today either. as he's going to be playing right back. Equally, Ekwarimbi doesn't want to be taking them on the right-hand side. That will do for set pieces. The set piece instructions should all be on there from before, so corners will just be aiming at the two big lads. Parsons is the taller of the two, I think, at 6'4". Novak, who we're not allowed to click on apparently. Novak is 6'1", so I hope we're aiming at Parsons. Let's just check that as well. You know, we're getting a game we need to win early on. We're still very much looking to fight relegation this year. We've been told to, let's get them the other way around. The board is still just looking for us to fight bravely against relegation. So we're not thinking in terms of European qualification or anything like that. I know we've spent a lot of money. Our goal this year is once again get to 40 points as quickly as possible. Let's avoid relegation and see how many games we've got left once we've achieved that. But until then, that's all we're going to be talking of. Williams cuts it back to Visor. Palestri's there, but his shot is he's blocked by the Palace defenders. And because the other thing, of course, is with so many new players in the team, he's going to take a little bit of time for this side to gel. I think this is the most new signings we've done in one go for quite some time. So we're definitely going to be doing lots of team bonding and all that kind of stuff to try and get these boys settled in as quickly as possible. Shortire does well there and tries to square it for Jones, but Jones just got himself the wrong side of the defender and the move breaks down. That's terrible from Leighton Clarkson. We've spent £10 million on him as our new playmaker in midfield, and that was shocking. Let's hope we don't see too much more of that this year, because that was really poor. Oh, my word. That's not how you make a first impression on your new team. Yaros does very well to pluck the resulting corner from the sky, though, and Shortire is looking like a good signing early on. He's had a very bright start, and he's running down this left-hand side again. Cuts it back to Ekwarimbi. Clarkson, can he make up for his previous error? No, he's done the same thing again. I mean, we might take him off and he'll never play again. What is Leighton Clarkson? Novak showing how good he is. My word, that's been two terrible passes from Clarkson so far. I am genuinely a little bit worried about him already. Palestri's played it forward to Jones. Jones must be offside here, but it doesn't look like anything is given. Have we won a corner here? We have won a corner. How he's not offside, it shows how quick he is. My eyes can't keep up with his legs. Visor with the in-swinger. Novak's there. Parsons was in there as well, but they get the ball clear. And actually, they've got a bit of a counter-attack going here, but luckily it fizzles out. And now they're taking the throw. Visor can't get a hold of it, but that's some good defending from Williams. And the ball is ultimately cleared, but not really in the direction of Jones. So Palace get the ball back and look to build another attack, but Visor intercepts nicely. We are looking good so far this season. Jones running at his defender. There's men in the middle. Cross comes over. Doesn't really get anywhere near any of them. Oh, God, Leighton Clarkson's got the ball. He found a blue shirt, everybody. Lovely flick on from Jones. Shortire scores. And he has looked very good on his debut. And that is a very good goal. I'm a little bit upset already that he's only in on loan, but the quality he's showing already suggests we never would have got him permanently. But lovely ball forward from Parsons. Excellent centre forward play from Jones. That's a string to his bow that he didn't show at any point last year. The amount of times I described him as a one-trick pony because he just runs quick. He's shown that he can actually use his height, and now he's using his finishing as well and running off. Everyone do the chicken dance with Ricky J. Jones, because we've gone 2-0 up. It's 2 goals in a minute. Jones from the corner, Visor swings it in. It's Parsons with a flick on, and Jones is there at the far post to fire it home. And he has started as he means to go on this year. It's 2-0 to Peterborough, and we are currently top of the Premier League, boys and girls. What an absolute madness that is. I'm sure it won't last for long because Leighton Clarkson's in the side. Yes, we have our new scapegoat already. Novak plays it forward, looking for Jones, who Jones is winning the ball in the air. He's always been tall. He's learnt to head, and Jones is in again. And the goalkeeper makes the save. I had doubts about Ricky J. Jones this summer. Not because he's not a good goal scorer, because he was so one-dimensional. That's why we signed Nketiah, just so we had a different option for when Jones doesn't play well. Ricky J. Jones has turned into a complete forward over the summer, and I am very much here for it. 2-0 at half-time then. We've just given the boys a pat on the head, told them they're doing lovely, apart from the central midfield. Clarkson's been terrible. Francis, I forgot, was on the pitch. So not really seen much from them, and it's Brandon Williams with the throw. So finds Leighton Clarkson, back to Williams again. Williams plays it into Palestri, and that's another debut goal. Both the new wingers scoring on their debuts. It's 3-0 to Peterborough, and we are a good team this year, folks. I mean, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Crystal Palace were a pretty poor side last year, and it looks like they're a pretty poor side again this year. We'll have our first real test when we come up against some of the better teams in the Premier League. But right now, we are very much enjoying the fact that we're at home. It's the first day of the season. We survived last year. We've got all our fancy new players on display, and we're scoring goals in the sunshine. And what better way is there to spend an August afternoon than watching your team 3-0 up on the first day of the new season, and Francis intercepting again? We've been doing that constantly. We've been doing it for 3 years, but I think we finally learnt to gegenpress. This is like watching us in the Championship again, probably because we're playing against a team who are vaguely Championship quality, but we are finally first to the ball each time again, and we're just pinging the ball around all over the place. It's one touch all over the place. Short ties in, squares it for Palestri, and it's 4. Oh, I'm having fun. This'll do. I'll take this. I spent hours working on that transfer special that came out yesterday, and I didn't know if it you know, when you spend a lot of money at a club like this, you always have that worry that maybe they're all rubbish, because it is a bunch of rejects and youngsters. We haven't sold it. We haven't signed a single player who was a regular starter for their Premier League side last season. Not one player who fits that criteria. So there's always the risk that they're all rubbish, but it looks like they're not. And that's very nice to see. Right, we'll swap those two over. Santiago can be the box-to-box. Francis can be the deep-lying playmaker. Ekwarimbi is, he's not having the best of games, but he's doing okay. And we're just looking at fitness levels more than anything. Certainly with some of the two wingers both joined quite late in the summer. So I guess we could look at who we want to have a look at. I kind of want to have a look at Nketiah. So should we bring him on for Jones and just have a little look at him? He also wants to be an advanced forward, so we'll get him on, give him 20 minutes. Now, Ricky J. Jones has done his job for today. It's Ekwarimbi with the throw from this left-hand side. It's a pretty poor one. But I tell you what, Bizer, he's looked like a £15 million player today. He's everywhere, not just in the attack, but joining back into that, making it a midfield 3 and closing down and pressing and actually being a team player. I'm finally starting to see what we spent all that money for, and then he got injured and he never quite established himself last year. He's looking good this year. What a difference learning the language makes. Parsons, it misses out on a header, which is a little bit unusual for him already. He's played 70 minutes of football and I've already decided what's usual for him. Palestri looks like he's tiring, so we're probably going to take him off after this highlight, and because we certainly don't want to break one of our new boys. He was the last one to arrive, so he's not really had any pre-season with us. Jaros, my goodness. We don't play him as a sweeper keeper. I think he forgot. Shortire slots it through to Nketiah, and there is a debut goal to make it 5-0 to Peterborough United. Happy days. Let's have a look. That all came from Jaros, who was just commanding his, not even commanding his area, commanding his half. And Shortire has been brilliant. And we are going to make that change. We talked about Palestri can come off. We'll bring on, I'm going to bring on Belesevic. I'm going to play him on the left. I'm going to put Shortire over there. So Shortire can come over here and play. I think he's left-footed. No, he's right-footed. So we'll just leave him there as a winger. Belesevic is right-footed as well. So does he want to be an inside forward? Not really. We'll leave him as an inverted winger then. So that's all. But it's most of the debuts. Viana's just here as emergency backup, and Svilar, we'll see him for the first time in the Carabao Cup, I imagine, because Jaros has been excellent today. But what a start to the new season this has been. And I didn't expect to be getting Belesevic on today to see if he's any good, because I didn't think we would reach that point where we could just be trying new players out. It's lovely. And Belesevic wins the ball, but then gives it away immediately. But he's chasing down. He's trying hard. I tell you what we should have done by now is drop a little bit of praise. Williams has done very well. I tell you what, Brandon Williams, he's blossoming as captain. and playing really well at right back. Lopez wants to be a little bit worried because how do you fit him back into this team? I know he's a wonder kid, but he might have to get in at left back. And Belesevic, I mean, this is all right, isn't it? The finish wasn't really there, but he looks like a mazy runner. He looks comfortable on the ball. For his first touches of a football in English football, lots of football there, he looked all right. Williams throws it to Francis, back to Williams again, who gives it back to Francis. Cross comes over. Belesevic is there, and that is the third debut goal of the afternoon. No, fourth debut goal of the afternoon. Gojko Belesevic has already scored a goal in the Premier League for Peterborough United. I don't want to upset the Simon Patton loyalists, but that's more than he did all last year. Okay, for the first half of last year. I think we've just got a slightly higher caliber of player. Patton's still young. He could go out on loan to the Championship for a year and come back to us as a 22-year-old and be fantastic. But for now, doesn't go much better than that, does it? If we do that again to Bournemouth, the whole world's gone nuts. Just the one change for the Bournemouth game then. Lopez is fit, so he comes back in. Williams moves back over to left back, and Ekwa dropping down to the bench. The quick pick selection advice email thing you get was telling me to start Nketiah ahead of Jones. I'm ignoring it at the moment. Ricky J. Jones goes through another one of his spells where he's not doing anything, though. We've got a man there ready for him. We also turned down a £10 million offer for Simon Patton. So the Simon Patton saga continues. I kind of feel like if it wasn't for the fact he was such a hero when he first arrived, I probably would have taken that money for him. But not for him. For someone else, maybe. But not for him. I'll just keep him here and ruin his career instead because I like him so much. Right, Bournemouth with the corner. It ends up a little bit high and a little bit wide. And other than that, nothing really to worry about. Ekwa is probably just looking at this team thinking, Clarkson's playing. I got dropped. I can even play in his position. What's going on there? Biza with the free kick from deep. Parsons is there. You know what I've not done? I've not done the set pieces. And you know what? I'm just going to leave them off. I'll do it properly. Watch us lose now because the set pieces aren't as good. I'll fix it on the tactic properly before the next match, certainly before the next episode. I'm not going to make you sit through watching me do that again. The price I pay for recording YouTube content, I realise I could just do it and then edit it out, but I think we're all familiar with future Kev's work, and the chances of him doing that are slim to none, because by the time he comes around to editing this video, he'll almost certainly have forgotten all about it. He'll be sat there eating a bowl of Cheerios while he's editing, and it will just all stay in. I know what he's like. He's a monster. Right, Clarkson playing it forward to Palestri. Palestri's got Lopez on the overlap. Lopez looking at options ahead of him. He chooses the option to run straight into a Bournemouth player, which is an interesting choice. And oh, look, Leighton Clarkson's giving the ball away in midfield. Who'd have thought? It worries me that he's trying that pass. I guess the positive is he's still confident enough to try the pass. But my word, Clarkson with the cross doesn't get past the defender. And now Bournemouth have got a counter-attack on here. And they've gone past our defenders really relatively easily. And it's 1-0. And we're coming back down to earth with a thump today, boys and girls. Maybe we should have had the set-piece instructions. I'll just blame it on the set-piece instructions. But this is... I mean, we've got no midfield here, have we? No midfield, no right back. They come through the middle and then switch out to our right, their left. And we've committed too many men forward there and they've punished us for it. It's what you were telling me about in the comments all last season. Kev, stop attacking so much, especially away from home. It's the Premier League. You're not that good. And I think it's probably a message that I needed at this stage of the season. Just a little reminder that we're not that good. We had a very good first day of the season, but we're not a sensational team. We're not Manchester United. We're not Liverpool or Man City, or we're not even Tottenham. And that, that gives you some context. Lopez has won the ball back here. Jones is in and Jones scores. It's 2-2 for Ricky J. Jones and it's an immediate goal after half time. That's why, Mr. Assistant Manager, that's why we go with our boy rather than the new boy. I don't care if we spent £18 million on him. 4 million on Jones was a much bigger amount of money in context at the time. and he's our boy who came from our youth system. He's homegrown at club and he's scoring goals, so we're not going to drop him. I'm not a monster. At 1-1, I'm happy. I'd take this because we were pretty poor in that first half. Of course, if we're going to go and grab a winner, I'll have that. Williams has definitely got a long throw on him, but sometimes he does the effective low bullet throw like we saw in the first game, and sometimes he just does that weird looping one that he's done there that's useless. I wish he'd do the good one every time. Clarkson now plays it through to Jones. I can see what he's trying to do there. I think Leighton Clarkson, once he settles in, will be a good player for us. I think I'm being a little bit harsh on him early on because he's been a little bit iffy, but he seems to be full of confidence and willing to keep trying stuff, and that's got to be a good thing. Francis looks like a very good player in midfield, though, just constantly buzzing around the place, first to the ball, and has a decent pass on him as well when he looks up and does that. Palestri nods it down, short eyes there, and we've gone ahead, and it's that front three again. We've got our little groups of three, the three up front, the three in midfield. They're all playing well. The defenders just seem very solid. It's like having Sykes and Anderson together again in the Championship. That's what it feels like. And they're both only 18. I mean, keep them both here for 5 years, we'd never concede a goal. It'd be magnificent. The two fullbacks are great. This is, I genuinely think, see how my tone has changed since we've gone ahead. All I care about is the result, clearly. But that team, I don't know how you improve that team on the budget and the reputation that we've got. Maybe you get someone better than Leighton Clarkson. But again, we're being too harsh on him. Calm down on the Leighton Clarkson nonsense, everybody. Santiago comes on again like he did in the last game. I want to get Nketiah on because he does deserve game time. He came on and scored in the last game. So what I might do is bring him on for short hire and stick Jones out onto that left-hand side where we've seen him play so many times before. We know he's effective out there. And we'll take off Lopez as well because he is in very real danger of tiring because he's only just back in the team. So Williams can go over to right. Ekwarimbi comes on the left. We've done a good old Kevy treble, which I seem to be doing a little bit too often at the moment. Lopez coming down the right-hand side again. Jones picks the ball up. Lopez crosses, short eyes in again. But this time he doesn't quite connect with it the way he did before. It's straight at the goalkeeper. And now our substitutions have gone through. And the question now is whether or not we can hold on to our 2-1 lead. And no, I'm not going to go cautious to try and do it. The best defence is attack. I know what I mean. Bournemouth hitting us on the break again. And once again, they're picking on the areas where we've committed too many men forward. Ekwarimbi has gone forward and then as he's chasing back has just instinctively gone central. And Nketiah drops deep here. I thought he was going to release Jones, but look at the pace on Nketiah. This is insane. That would have been a wonder goal if that goes in. I still wonder if maybe he releases Ricky J. Jones and lets him use his pace. He's then 2 yards further on and it's an even easier finish. Bizer's just scored a worldie. He's having a good start to the season, isn't he? What a difference playing with quality players has made to him. He looked like he didn't really know what was going on last year every time he played, whereas this time around he just looks like he fits in with a much better quality side. And having 6 points on the board this early is brilliant for us because, like I said in the first match, we're just aiming for 40 points as soon as possible. And Jones, I think that's going to be disallowed for offside. It looks like it is. Disallowed. But, good header again. He's learnt to head, which has got to be a good thing. It might even be given yet. We know they're never given. Who am I kidding? It might be given. Goodness me. That would be like a player getting here and crossing last year. Just, no, he's going to shoot into the side netting. You know that. And you know those goals are always getting disallowed. VAR, pointless. But good win. Well done, boys. I think we're ending the first episode of a new season, top of the Premier League. Long may it continue. Champions and all that nonsense. This is all right, isn't it? We are top of the Premier League. Wow. 8 goals on our goal difference already. Okay, we will come back tomorrow as ever. You can see I've got my international break friendies in to try and sort out the team cohesion. Not that it seems to be causing us any problems yet, but gotta do everything to try and get these boys used to playing in our system as soon as possible. We'll probably come through maybe past this international break, perhaps do Blackburn and Norwich, because then we get to see Wassell again playing for Norwich. I assume he's gone straight into their team because he'd still be in our team if he was here. That's who we signed Clarkson to replace. He's on their bench. Ridiculous. He'd be playing for us. Should have come to us. Silly boy. But yeah, what a start to the season. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.